Hello everyone, I'm Overhaul and today we're gonna be talking about the Charlotte family from One Piece. And oh boy is there a lot to talk about. Now just to be clear, I'm going to talk about their children and Big Mom. Not the husbands like Pound and the possible ones like Struzan and Kaido, but only the children and Big Mom because those seem to be the ones that actually matter. So yeah. Also keep in mind this is before the Vivre card data book that's coming out in August. So there aren't going to be information like that. Well, there are going to be some because the Vivre cards do have just the information that we already kind of knew. Also, not all of the children of the Charlotte family have appeared in the anime, so some of these are going to just be manga panels or just images of them with differently colored, preferably purple. Also, I do not own any of these images. All of these images belong to Crunchyroll, and the other two companies, which my apologies for not remembering. And with that said, let's get into this video. Alright, so the first one is Charlotte Anana. So yeah, Charlotte Anana, she's the youngest child and the youngest daughter of the family. Now, I don't believe she has any combat experience. How the only time we see her is in a brief moment in which Big Mom talks to her grandchildren that are too young to be, pirates. And she seems to have some kind of psychotic tendencies, considering the fact she wanted a knife to cut her pet bear. This could be a hint into the future that she might possibly become a swordswoman, because there are some swordswomen in their family and some swordsmen as well. Plus I even believe Struzan is a swordsman, so yeah. So in the future she might be a swordswoman. Now when we enter bounties with her, I don't know if she has it or not, because she is connected to Big Mom as her child, and I would imagine that even their children would flipping get bounties, but it's possible they're just unaware. So one of the things I hope we get to revealing in the Vivre card data book is the whole thing. When does the world government know which ones are their children and which ones are not? Because we've seen some Big Mom children that look like not what we were expecting, or not even we were assumed they're being a part of Big Mom. So yeah, this is Charlotte Anana. First is Solid Drugger. Now he's an identical twin with another brother, which means I might possibly mispresent the ones, but it doesn't really matter because again they're like twins and they do have the same personality. So yeah, of all the ones I would say he's probably the weakest. That these two are probably the weakest because they're just like balls on strings. Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know if they're going to be like I believe, was it Hattori from Skypiea, where he used balls as their weapons and they might use balloons, like Pennywise. But yeah, that's really all. I don't know if he's the one who said that he wanted to kill Anana, but maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. Again, they look pretty much the same. The next one is Charlotte Doltz. Now as you can see Charlotte Doltz is pretty much like I said. He's practically the same as Solid Dagre. Again, I feel like his compatibility would be kind of equal. And maybe they're going to do more of a team up moves in the future. And yeah, that's pretty much it from him. I don't see much else. Next one is Charlotte Normande, who's a human dwarf hybrid. Now I know it's disgusting to imagine her, Big Mom, doing a dwarf and getting her out, but Why does she have fairy wings or butterfly wings, and where's her tail? Maybe you can barely see something beneath her dress there. Well, that brown thing, don't look at beneath her dress, it's disgusting. I mean, I think she's like around 10 years old at most, but yeah, I think we can see a bit of her tail, but not much. Yeah, she's probably the least focused on because she's just in an arm. Also, she apparently has a good relationship with one of the sons because she is in one of his hands. So yeah, also she seems to kind of like butterflies a lot. And now to the son I was talking about, Charlotte D. Chart. Now I believe he is the third fisherman human hybrid. There might be one more we'll see later, but yeah. He is a human fisherman hybrid and he just stands there and looks like this. Nothing else to talk about him. The next one is Willow, who is a snake human hybrid. The seventh one, I believe. I know she has a lot of snake necks in the Charlotte family. But yeah, he's pretty much like this in the chart, just stand there and doing nothing. The next one is Charlotte Waffers, or was it Waters? Anyways, Charlotte Waffers is probably, it seems to be one of the more reasonable members of the family because in that scene she's as Big Mom. It's not nice from us to fight and hate each other and kill each other. So she seems to be having a bit of a morality. So maybe that means that she has the smallest amount of bounty out of all the Shaw family if the children even know they exist and they do have bounties. I don't think they do, but yeah. So she seems to be so far one of the more moral ones. Nothing else to say about her. The next one is Charlotte Anglaise, who is from the children who aren't members of the who aren't, confirmed pirates. He seems to be the oldest. Now we do see him in the palace, like going around and giving information, although that could just be from the anime, but I can imagine that happening in the manga as well. So yeah, he eats around and just give information, but outside of that, he didn't really do much. So yeah, now it's possible that in the next year he will become a member. Maybe his little caterpillar will become a giant caterpillar, like the same thing as from One Punch Man as the what's the name of that monster? Senior centipede or junior centipede. Maybe it's going to become something like that. But yeah, outside of that, nothing else to say about. Oh, by the way, he's apparently one of the more popular younger brothers from the Charlotte family because I do believe he's number 1 where it came to ranking them. I also believe one of the twins was number 2. But yeah. The next is Charlotte Flambe, probably the least liked member of the Charlotte family. Now, Charlotte Flambe, she's, besides being a Big Mom pirate and the youngest from the family, she's also a minister of an island. I think she's a minister of a honey island, but I could be wrong about that. And the other thing I have to say is, how the fuck did she get that position? Like, seriously, how the fuck did she get that position? I mean, I know the way Pudding would get the position of being in charge of the chocolate town, but how the fuck did she get the position? Well, I mean, how the hell? I mean, was she just given it? Was she just whining to Big Mom and they said, alright, you'll be in charge of that island? Because I don't think she would be able to run the island. Hell, maybe some of the triplets that one doesn't have a island actually runs the minister, like maybe Bascata or someone, but I just can't believe that she's the one, a minister. And for God's sake, sorry, for competence is as horrible as her design. Now, I mean, no offense, but her design is very appealing. Although, I don't know what you were smoking. Also, she uses a blow dart in her combat and maybe uses a sword. I don't know. Is that thing a sword that she carries? Yeah, she most likely has zero combat experience considering how pathetic she is. So yeah, also she's in Wano, no, well, right in front of Wano, and I hope she dies. Like pretty much everyone. The next one is Charlotte Pudding. So yeah, Charlotte Pudding, she's one of the main, well, she is one of the main ones. I would say she's the third most important Charlotte family in the arc. Or maybe the second, it depends what you consider more Katakuri or her. But yeah, she's basically breaking in the mind, split minds, you know, that condition where you have two personalities. She has that. And yeah, I think it began in this arc, or maybe it was before, because I don't think it was really established that well. Well, but yeah. She's in love with Sanji, and from what we see from her combat experience, it seems to be more of a shooter than anything else. And I don't exactly get her completely when it comes to the big mom position. I mean, I get that she's a candidate for the next minister of the chocolate town, but I don't get exactly what's the role on the crew. I mean, apparently she is an executive, which are supposed to be the ranks that Big Mom Chocolate family holds, but I can't tell if that's because, if that means that she does more pirate things and she has a bounty, or if she is just executives because all the big Charlotte families are executives. And apparently she kind of needs to remind them that she can do combat-wise things, because at least in the anime there was that scene where she's like, I am a member of the Charlotte family as well, when they were talking about the plan with the cake and all. So yeah. For what I can tell, she's not really the one that takes much of a combat tower. She might just be like the advisor or something. Yeah, connected, but not much of a threatening when it comes to fighting. At most, just a thing to push from away. But yeah, that's pretty much it for her. The next one is Charlotte Nougat, and he kind of seems to be trying to honor Charlotte Katakuri because of the scarf he's having. Now, he's also apparently a swordsman, and he's the youngest boy that's connected to the family as a combatant, as an executive. Also, in the anime, he seems to kind of be the one that, makes the troops get ready and excited for battle, because when there was that scene where Phyllis seen when he jumped on the mirror and said, "Get ready for combat." All the people were like rooting up. So maybe he is a sort of a expiator, like Bell Batty from the Revolutionary Army. Maybe that's kind of what he does, but anything else we don't know. Maybe he is on the ship to Wano. I would like to see him, because I would like to get more of him, because he did kind of have also kind of lead the attack with the bullets, but yeah. So that's pretty much Charlotte Nogata. The next one is Charlotte Fuyumek. I'm sorry if you can't see her that well. Now, she seems to be the most psychotic Charlotte, the couplet, and also the youngest from what I could figure out. Because in the anime they include the scene with her that was like, "Oh, come out, straw hat, so I can cut your hat off with my sickle." So yeah, she is kind of crazy in that sense. Now, although some of you people might say that doesn't make it canon because it's filler, which is kind of true, but I would imagine stuff like this about the Charlotte family is included to give us a little bit more personality. I mean, gives this to the filler scenes, at least it makes sense if you want to get to know more about these characters. So yeah, she's just a scythe, which automatically makes me like her a bit more, because I do prefer scythes. It's kind of the same thing as people that like a character more because of this sort. I like character more based on if they use a scythe. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Charlotte Fuyumek. And I do think she's one of the hotter ones from the couplets. Maybe I'll make a rank if you done all the hotness, all the sexy as members of the daughters. The next one is Charlotte Harumek, and she is going on to. Now, she's the biggest member of the females. I do believe she's actually the biggest to couplet as well. Now, we don't see her eyes, so she has one of those characters that has hair or something covering her Ice character, and she does also have a little of a nice character. Not, I think she's like one that gets the least amount of focus from anyone. Or the couplets in the filler scenes in the anime. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, she apparently cares very much for the UN because when he got taken down, or was it Raisin? I think it was Raisin though. She had scream big bro Raisin more than anyone else. Everyone else just seemed to be kind of shocked. So that's pretty much Harumek. The next one is Charlotte Almec. Now I believe she's the one that corrects her older sister about the whole not teasing Brule because she can hit her on the other side. So that's pretty much what we get. Now, this might be just me, but I believe the concept of the other gift of her, she didn't have a bow. I think she just had a little thing that kept her hair together, but not a bow. But I could be wrong about that. So she's also a scythe wielder, and yeah, she's a bit more, and she's not exactly like Furumek, but also I wouldn't say she's much better than Harumek. So yeah. The next one is Charlotte Akimek, which is a bit less than Furumek, but she's still great. I like her look. I like how she kind of has that skull thing on her dress, and I do kind of like the fact that she kind of teases Brule because you would believe that. Plus, when the previous Almec came, she was like, "Oh yeah, yes, you're right." Kind of adorable one. Next one is Charlotte Nutmeg, which she was the one that was offended by one of the Charlotte male couplets suggesting the possibility of Karakuri being defeated, which she hit him on the head. Granted, she hit the wrong one, but yeah. She's the oldest female, and she does care about the ones a lot more, and I would say she also looks like sexy. I would say Almec is the number 1, Nutmeg is number 2, the previous one, I believe, Akmek is number 4, and then I would say Harumek is number 4, and then, yeah, that's pretty much how I would rank them in hotness. The next one is Charlotte Nugo. Now, I believe he's one of the 3 most liked younger brothers, and I think they also recolored his hair in the anime, because I think it was originally yellow, because they had a scene where 2 of the couplets had yellow caps, and then they recolor it. So that's pretty much it from him. This is Charlotte Nushi, who is the only couplet that has a devil fruit, which is the Fusion Nomi. I am very interested in what the Fusion Nomi can do and what's the possibility of it. Because if you really think about it, the Fusion Nomi is basically the best devil fruit for a Yonko crew to have. Plus, I would like to know what are the restrictions and how it really works. I mean, I hope in the Viva Cardetta book we find out this. Because if you ask me, I mean, what's really keeping him from, just being like, alright, Big Mom, Katakuri, curry, smoothie, cracker, snack, oven, daifuku, comfort, Parasparrow, and himself, because so far we know he can fuse with 4 people with his other brothers and sisters, the couplets, into one giant massive creature. So what's keeping him from fusing with everyone else? I mean, if he fused with all of those, he would practically be the shortest being out there. I mean, combine Yonko's power with Karakuri's future Haki, which so far only he is the only Yonko Yonko crew member that has been confirmed to have it. He can be one hell of a force if he just fuses with those guys, so I would like to know what are the restrictions on him. But yeah, also he has the most unique body because all the other ones I believe only had a bit of a change of hair on him. The next one is Charlotte Nusan, who I believe now he wasn't the one that said that whole Karakuri thing, possibility of losing. So yeah, he basically just stood in the background and do nothing. I think he's one of the more irrational ones because Mondo removed the paper when it was near him when they were doing that whole meeting thing. The next one is Charlotte Nuji, who I believe is the one who has set the Katakuri possibility of losing, so he was a bit more realistic because granted Katakuri is powerful but he's not a Yonko. So yeah, that's pretty much with him, and he also doesn't wear a tie. I guess they decided to change him at least a little bit. The next one is the oldest Nucci, and he's basically the same as the old young ones. Nothing I need to say about him. The next one is Charlotte Yuan, who is 19 years old, and he's a pretty strong fellow. His stuff is pretty interesting, how he can expand, just like smack people down, and he does seem to be one of the more powerful ones, even though he is one of the younger ones. So yeah, he does have an interesting design, and I would like to know what the heck is up. Why is his hat like this? I mean, apparently it's a helmet, that spiky thing, but why is his face like that? Plus, he kind of seems to hate it when people don't look at him or don't pay him attention. But yeah. Now, I would say he possibly isn't Wano, but it's also possible that he isn't. Also, he doesn't seem to have a Dao fruit from what we've seen, but he might have one. So yeah, that's Charlotte Yuan. The next one is Jared Jo Scarpone, and she is nothing. She is really just there to slice a couple of times, having one scene she didn't even appear. And yeah, she is nothing really. I mean, I would wonder where she went for the other parts of the island, because she and her brother shoot in the stars and sunny in the fire, but then they just disappear. I don't know where the fuck they are, or where the fuck she is. The next one is Charlie Mascarpone, who, unlike her sister, he's actually a minister. So yeah. I do wonder if the minister position actually gives you a higher bounty, but possibly not. I believe he's the minister of the utensils, like forks and that, but I could be wrong about that. So yeah, he's basically the same thing as his sister, with uses a Bicento, whatever those things are called. Like, I think it's a small version of a Bicento, but yeah. But that's all what I can say about him. The next one is Charlotte Panana, who is from who, as you can see this clip in the manga. I don't know why she didn't appear in the anime, because I think she shoot, and she's probably one of the more unique ones because her weapons seem to be giant, bear-like, or animalistic like claws. So I would like to know the story behind that. And that's pretty much it. The next one is Charlotte Raisin, who we do see a little bit in fighting. He's a swordsman. He seems to be somewhat of a competent one. Now we know he is in the right in front of Wano, waiting for battle. Now I wonder if he's going to fight everyone else also. Plus, I do like some of the changes they did in the anime towards the manga. In the manga, they just had him strike Sanji with Armored Haki, and then him just getting kicked out of the way. Well, I think they have him just try to slice Luffy, but then Sanji kicks him away. But in the anime, they changed to the fact that he comes back and he like strikes Sulong Pakams, which gives him a little bit more power, if you ask me. So yeah, that's Charlotte Raisin. I did think he was one of the older ones, but he's not really that old. I think he's like in his 30s or something. I think he's like the youngest in his 30s. The next one is Charlotte Joconde, which you'll be shocked to find out in the manga that she looks like this, because in the manga she's just a little panel with her, which she kind of looks like Bavaria's younger sister, which we do find out Bavaria does have a sibling, but it's not her. Now she rides a horse, and she uses a rapier, or those lances or whatever they're called in combat. Now she seems to have some kind of an honor for Big Mom Pie, for the Big Mom family, because she says how disgraceful that a small group was able to do so much to a Yonko's territory. But then she was also like, oh, is this struck Luffy really that big of a threat? So yeah, nothing else to say about her. The next one is Charlotte Brownie, where we do get a bit of filler scenes with him, but first time he shows up and does he's mostly just like, alright, how many people are there? And then it's like less than 5. And he's like, oh, what? And then he just went to sleep. So I imagine he's the laziest one of the Charlotte family. And yeah, he does nothing for the most of the actually just sits there and kind of looks ridiculous, if you ask me. Next one is Charlotte Mappa, which we do see a little glimpse of her in the manga, and I also believe we might see a little glimpse of her in the team when they were going to Wannabe. I could just be confusing her with some other members. But yeah, she is a long arm tribe member, and she's very weird in her design. Like, what the heck is up with it? Give her the. I mean, he's the only one that could design this thing. Ugh, she looks so weird. The next one is one of my favorite Charlotte artists, and that's Charlotte Mukuri. Like, from the start when I saw her in the anime, she just stuck in my eye. I just like her design. I don't know why. Just, she's so appealing. Now, she's also 25 years old, which is weird because she looks younger than that. Like, first time I saw her, I thought she was like 16 or 17 or something like that. She looked like someone that just began the family thing. And nope, she's apparently a 25-year-old, and she looks sexy as hell. Amazing. Just amazing what she looks like. Also, she's apparently a swordswoman. I don't know if she has any combat experience, and I would like to see how she can fight in swords, because we do see a bit of swordsman from her in the later update, but nothing else from her older brother. But yeah, I would like to see how much of a swordsman she is. The next one is Charlotte Marpy, which is the sister, which is the the upper sister from the family. She's the second one. She's she's a shooter of the family, and yeah, we don't see much of her because she does only appear in a leaf panel when she says, "Damn it." And in that panel, you kind of have to feel bad for some of the Charlotte family, because if you really think about it, they're only doing orders. I mean, they weren't they weren't doing any kind of a great evil scheme or anything. They're just doing their orders and they're doing their jobs. Well, everything else just goes wrong for them. And if you really think about it, it's completely unfair for them. I mean, they're doing everything they should do, and even when something happens where they defeat themselves, they still fucking too much to get better, but because of the plot, they kinda cannot win. So yeah, it is kinda sad, that part in the anime where she just says, "Damn it all!" Or just says, "Damn it." Because you do kind of feel bad for them. The next is Charlotte Mobile. We get to see him a little bit in combat, and in the anime, and we also find out he's a minister. I think he's the minister of tasting, but yeah, nothing else. Now he's also a swordman, but that's really it. Nothing else really. But he used a cane from like a king has. But yeah, he's also in one, I believe. Yeah, he is. The next one is Lola. Now, she doesn't appear in the arc. She appears in Philip Bark arc, where she's a member of a society that's stuck on, Philip with the whole zombie thing. And yeah, she's the first one we get introduced, and we kind of get the kind of a big setup. Like, if you're in trouble, call my mom. She will come and help you. Which is weird that she didn't call her mom when in her case, but maybe she kind of finds the honorable or something. But yeah, nothing else. We're supposed to find out that her mom wants to kill her, and she thinks that her mom actually cares. Oh boy, that's a big mistake if you ask me, girlie, and I hope she never comes back, because if she does, she will get killed. Now her older twin sister, which is Charlotte Chiffon, which this might be from the different anime drawing, but she kind of looks different than Lola. Maybe it's just the animation. So yeah, she's basically the one that she was a minister of I believe Fluffy Island or the Chiffon Island or whatever. Also, Lola was the minister of Chocolate Island. Now, her basic story is that she got married with Capone, and not least with him because she's kind of traitor, because he did betray the family. So yeah. Now Big Mom treated her like the worst way possible, to the point that she cares more about Capone than any of her family, which is weird, because if we take the brutal interactions she had with her in the anime, that would mean that the siblings do care about one another, except some of the ones that hate the traitors. So it's purely the fact that Big Mom is such a horrible person to them. So yeah, I don't really get the whole big problem with her. So this is Chiffon. The next one is Charlotte Chiposte, who uses a shield, and he's a minister of mixing, I believe. And yeah, in the manga they give him a scene in which he holds down Sulong Pakams, but the anime they changed that so he doesn't get that scene. Instead, he gets like an introduction scene when he's like, "Oh, if that strike shows up, I'll give her my bare hands." That's also important to mention that he's one of the bigger members of the family. I think he's like amongst those more like human giant size members, as you can see in this picture. If you take those soldiers as normal size soldiers and compare him, so yeah, he's one of the more massive ones. I do wonder how he fights with his shield, but that's pretty much what we have from him. I don't believe he's in Wano, but I would be interested to see if he would be. I can imagine we would notice him if he was, though. The next one is Charlotte Moonbi, who is one of the three triplets, and he's the first one of the one that continues the trend of 3 children, only 2 of them ministers. But this one, he actually is the last one from the triplets, and not the middle one, which is a running thing with them. So yeah, we see him only in a panel in which he reacts to Karakuri being defeated. But yeah, that's pretty much it. He's also a swordsman apparently, but nothing else is known about him. How he doesn't even kind of resemble his brothers, if you consider how weird they are to look like. And speaking of weird brothers, Charlotte Kato. And we say weird, I mean, it's an understatement saying weird. I mean, look at him. What is he? Is he a man that was born with a pumpkin from a hat? Is that a helmet? I mean, it wasn't revealed that it's a helmet because it's, you know, it hasn't been cut in half, which I would assume he would die, but considering his skin seems to be the same color as the pumpkin, I would say it's his hat. Which is weird because none of the other 2 have any plant-like features, so what's up with his fucking hat? So yeah, he's a bit of a skilled swordsman. He was able to fight somewhat against Petro, but that's pretty much it we saw from him. Now, some people thought that he was a homie, which I do believe, which I would buy completely, but it turns out he's actually a Charlotte-led member. I do believe he's the minister of the Seeds Island, and yeah, he does nothing else except a little bit of a combat thing. And he's a bit of creepy because of the whole pumpkin thing. The next one is Charlotte Compton, who, like I said, look at them. None of these 3 even look similar, like you could believe they're triplets. This guy seems to be covered bandaged up for some reason on his body. I do believe he actually thrown something at the people. I don't know what he threw, but he seemed to like throw something when he jumped in front of Carrot and Chopper, which was in the anime fair, but still. I mean, what the hell is up with him? Why is he bandaged up? Is this wounds? Wait, does he have a bump on his head or something? Like, what the heck? What the heck is he? The next one is Charlotte Praline, who was also a minister. Now, the wiki doesn't say she lost her position, but we can pretty much say she did lost her position. And she has one hell of a rack. Like, wow, that's one nicely done woman. She looks beautiful, and she's a human fishman, mermaid hybrid, I would say, because both her and her sister are mermaids. So yeah, she's married to Aladdin, who's the current captain of the Sun Pirates, and yeah, she seems to be more loyal to her Aladdin than anyone else, which does make me wonder what kind of a life did she have to betray the Charlotte family. I mean, Chiffon was treated like garbage, and Pudding was also, so that's why she betrayed them, but why did Praline betray them? I mean, from what we have told, she's been doing very nice for her, and there was a big problem, but I don't know why exactly betrayed them. Also, she seems to have a weird smiling thing where she smiles a lot. The only time I think she doesn't smile is when she's yelling at anything at the fact that he doesn't plan on leaving her behind if Big Mom gets upset. But yeah, that's all with Pauline. The next one is her older sister Charlotte Prim, which we do see a little bit, and she also has a nice act. She's not a minister, but she could possibly become a minister because I'm pretty sure they throw her Pauline off the position, considering the fact she kind of betrayed them. Well, she did betray them. How they're the main reasons why the Strats were able to escape. So yeah, she also appears briefly, and she is kind of combat, but we don't see much. I think she kills like one of the German soldiers, but that's pretty much it from her. The next one is the younger brother of Snag, but Charlotte Bavarius. Now, let's go to the bounties. I think that if not all the Charlotte family members have them, I would imagine the younger ones especially don't. I would think that at least the members that are connected to a Sweet Commander or former Sweet Commander would have bounties. So the bounty I gave Bavarius was 160 because I don't think he is one of the more... Because I think that would be a good million bounty, not just 160. Because I do feel that would be kind of fitting. Plus he has his own shape and he seems to be kind of a boxing guy. So yeah. I really want to see if he does have a bounty and what exactly he does, because he's supposed to be because out of all of the brothers and sisters from the Sweet Commanders, I don't know what's up with him. Because this will be the least interesting, probably the least powerful. The next one is his older brother, Charlotte Snag. Now he's a former Sweet Commander and his bounty is 600 million. Which is by some people considered low, but consider the fact that Sabo, a second commander of Revolution Army, is only for like 2 million higher than him. It's a pretty decent number. Now he is a swordsman, he does have some kind of a combat experience. Plus, I feel like he kind of constantly wants to redeem himself because he said in the anime at least time to show him the honor of a former Sweet Commander or something. And also, he seems to have like, his coloring seemed to have changed like twice. No, 3 times. In the silhouetted version of him doesn't seem to resemble him very much. The first coloring of him was more yellow and brown. His second version only had red and blue a lot more predominantly. And his final version now looks like this. I'd like to know how they went through his design and why did Oda not reveal him completely? Why he keep it obscure? Because I don't get that part. But yes, that's Charlotte Snag. I do hope to see more of him. I do hope he comes to one because I'm interested to see how powerful he is. Also, the Snag is a minister. I should bring that out. But yeah, now let's go to Priori. So Priori, she's the younger sister of Galad and... Alright, can someone please explain to me why Priori has fangs and she's not being attacked for it? Because Kakoi was and yet she isn't. What's the reason? And what's going on there? And why does she have a panda cap or something? It's weird. So yeah, she seems to have a giant Gatling gun as her weapon, which is kind of badass if you ask me. But yeah. But seriously, what the fuck is up with her teeth? Or she seems to have a bit more of a care for Karakuri because when that explosion hit, she was like, Karakuri! So yeah. Which was again a filler scene, but again, I feel like some filler scenes are to establish one of the characters from the family. But yeah. I would like to know what the fuck's up with her teeth. I mean, she is in Wano. Well, in front of Wano. I wonder if some of them will get in. I wonder if the Big Empires will take the chance when the Beast Pirates go to that perception because, you know, the whole fact that it's gonna empty at that point. The next one is Charlotte Galad, who is the old sister of Priori, and she's the Minister of Butter. So yeah, she possesses, I believe it's called Butternomy, and she also has a nice act. I think in the one scene when they were going to the mirror world, someone in the mirror says that apparently he leads into her bathroom, which is, I would be kind of interested in that. How I could imagine if Brook was there and he saw it and he knew how Galadriel looks like. He was like, "Ooh, ooh, let's go there. I need to see her panties." So yeah, she just walks around. Well, she's pretty sexy, and unlike her sister who wears a traditional coat, she wears like a fur coat. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Galadriel now. And she's also in front of Ono. The next one is Charlotte Dokoisi, who's also on the ministers. I can't remember what he's the minister of, but he looks kind of like a badass motherfucker, like kind of a mafia guy. And the bat wings do look nice on him. No, I don't know exactly how he fights and if he has a bounty, but he could. I can imagine him being a snapshot shooter as well, just because he kind of does look like a mafia don or a mafia gang member. Oh, I can imagine him being an assassin. But yeah, I would like to know if those wings are real or if they are fake, because it kind of feels weird that he would decide to have wings. I mean, granted, his design looks look better with wings, but still. The next one is Charlotte Melissa, who is weirdly enough the only child, and she seems to have horns. Or antlers, I don't know exactly. Now, she also appears briefly in the manga, but not very much for her. I think you can barely even tell that that's her, but yeah, she looks nice and does look a bit adorable, and that's pretty much it. The next one is Charlotte Basanti, who I thought was her older brother or younger brother, but now she and he are a single child, I believe, or maybe he does have an older brother. Not if everybody, I think he is a younger brother to the next one. But yeah, he has weird antlers above his head, and he wears this weird suit that has a giant zipper. I don't know what the fuck even is up with him. What the heck is up? I hope in the Viva Gdaya book we get to find out like what the fuck is up with all of the designs and why do they look like this and how do you decide that? Because he looks so weird. I don't believe he's even a minister. Now, some people thought that his original name was Kustad because we didn't know who Kustad was, but we later do find out who she is. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Bazanza. There is his older brother, I believe, which is Sant Mark. Now, he's a minister of Ascens Island, which we don't know what that island is. I think it's like a present, if I'm being totally honest. And yeah, he is a pretty massive, bulky guy with armor, and he's pretty strong when it comes physically. Granted, that I do believe Junji just pushed him away in the anime filler, but yeah. He looks pretty intimidating. He does look kind of a tough mofo. Now, he might be a scientist because of people like Judge and the fact that he's kind of an island that would kind of advise that, but yeah, he is pretty cool looking if I'm being honest. The next one, the youngest of the Charlotte Long Arm members, and that's Charlotte Cinnamon. Now, she's also a sister whose other two sisters are minister, and she's not. I don't know why. And she has a pretty going on, if I say so. Now, she seems to be a person that's not really liking man because she kind of had a line where she's like, "Oh, man, incompetent," or something. Like, if you want to do something right, you need to trust in women or something. I can imagine a lot of feminists would be happy with her. Hell, if these feminists actually follow anime, I wouldn't be surprised if they said, "We need more." They would start saying, "We need more Charlotte Cinnamon." I can totally imagine it. But yeah, it's nothing. I think it was just to get a bit more of a character. Now, I do believe she has a bounty, and I would like to say that her bounty is like around 400 million or 300 million. Because I do think she's more powerful than some of the other ones. But not stronger than Arwen and Fuku, but I would imagine that she's one of the more powerful ones. Next one is her older sister Sichuan, which is a minister of the Egg Island, I believe. And yeah, I'm not really a big fan of her design. I don't know, maybe it's because of the more rounded shape or whatever, but I'm just not a fan of it. Now, she's also a bit of more of a lazy person, which makes me wonder why she's a minister. Shouldn't Cinnamon be a minister? Maybe it's going to be a flaw later or something, but I think it was confirmed that she's a minister. Well, it was confirmed that she's a minister, but I think it should be a flaw if she's lazy of nature. But yeah. Now, I do believe her bounty is lower than Cinnamon because of the lazy nature, Plus, we don't even know what kind of a combat experience fighting she has because the other two seem to be swordswomen and she doesn't have a sword with her ever. So yeah, maybe she's a more of a brute force or a kicking guy girl, but we don't know. And next one is one of my favorite Charlotte females, and that's Charlotte Smoothie. And oh man, that lovely and those amazing, and oh boy, I just wanna have a fun night with her. Now yeah, she's probably the biggest disappointment in the whole Cake Island because she's not really given any combat-wise thing. How Oda himself literally said in the Viva Cardare, no, not in the Viva Cardare book, no, he said in the SBS, yeah, I want to do more with her, I would most likely do, but the story kinda pushed it out. Now she is in front of one, so we might get a fight with her. Hopefully. It's kinda hard to tell specifically because, you know, the fact they're kinda not in one, not because they're right in front of it, because King's flying all over them, but maybe when he goes away for some other reason, she'll come and get there. Plus, it's kinda hard to say she's going to ever be so strong because right now we have Beast Pirates and she might be at best able to fight on Queen, but her bounty is lower than the billion. Like, I think her bounty is like a bit more than 50. I think her bounty is a little bit more than 50 million lower than to a billion. So she might have a fight. Hell, here's the deal. Maybe she'll fight Jack while everyone else Sanji fights Queen and Zoro fights King. Now that's going to be what's going to happen. That'll be awesome to see. I mean, I really want her to fight. I mean, she's a sexy bitch. Well, not bitch. I mean, I'm talking about I just forgot. I would like to see her fight, and I would just like, to see more of her. I do wish Oda does give more of her in the arc. Or at least give us a bunch of her fan service. I mean, that would be nice too. So yeah, I do want to see her more. The next one is Charlotte Toblet, who is also a minister of an island, but I can't remember which one. Yeah, I think he's the smallest one of the family because he is pretty small, but I don't know exactly how. Because Campo is also very small, he comes on later. So yeah, Tablet, he rides a sheep in combat, and we see that he does use the sheep in fighting, so I don't know if that sheep's a homie that he just uses, or it's just a very trained sheep. But yeah, that's pretty much Tablet, and he's also a swordsman. The next one, he says, about High Fat, who's a bit of a muscular motherfucker, and he is pretty strong, because in the manga, in the anime, they have him fight a bit better with Jinbei. So he is pretty strong, a very big, and a very brute guy. So I do think so I would like to see him in the fighting as well. Now he also isn't a minister. But yeah, maybe he has almond hockey, who knows really. The next one is also someone that I believe is a minister, that's Sharon Marinier. Now, her design is not really something I like very much, but yeah, what you gonna do? Now she has a stick that kind of looks like a wizard stick to fight with her, like you can kind of see it in the corner. But I don't know if she actually has something that can be viewed as spells or if she just has that. It's weird, I don't even get how useful it can be in combat. But yeah, that's pretty much all from Charlotte Marinier. The next one is Charlotte Mozart, who I believe is her older sister, who I don't believe is a minister, but she has a weird jester-like design. I don't think we know how she fights, so she might be a shooter, but we don't know. So yeah, she kind of looks better than Moran or whatever, but yeah, that's pretty much it. The next one is Charlotte Mondo, who I believe he has the epithet of the scribe or something. He's one of the more known members of the Big Mom family because he has been talked about, and he did do more. He did even more than Charlotte Smoothie. Now he possesses the book normally where he can like entrap you in books and do whatever it is. Like we don't know where the books come from. It's kind of the same thing as how Twice does his clones. We don't know if he's smart or that's just what happens. But yeah. We see a little bit of him. He does have an interesting design, somewhat. Now, if I do believe he's one of the members that does have a bounty, if any of them would have, and I do believe his bounty would be around 19 million or 190 million. I would imagine that his bounty would be kind of like that, and he also kind of has that clone design. I don't know why, but maybe oh, it was going to be ironic or something. Think. So the next one is Charlotte Lauren, who is the 18th, I believe, and Wonder is, I believe, the 91st. So Charlotte Lauren, he uses a axe for fighting. He has a weird hat that kind of covers his eyes, but apparently his eyes can see through it, so I don't know what the fuck's up with that. He also seems to have a some kind of like tin can, so I would not know what the fuck's up with that, and yeah. And there's nothing much to say about Lauren. Oh, by the way, Mondor was the minister of the Cheese Island. So yeah. Next one, Charlotte Campo. Now this is the man. Now he's a minister of Pie Island, and he's the guy who I'm wondering if he's smaller or bigger than Tablet. He does kind of look smaller than Tablet to me at least, but he might be bigger. I don't know. Now he uses a boomerang in fighting, like apparently, but I don't know how he uses that because we just saw a brief scene in the anime with him being a fight, but that's pretty much it. So yeah, he does pretty much nothing, and he kind of doesn't speak even. I originally thought he had more of a 80s superhero kind of a look, but no, he doesn't resemble that much. Although he kind of does look like a German spy suit, but hell, maybe he's a fan of the German comic. Now he is one of the older ones, so he might be born in the South Blue. I mean, we don't know where all the South Siblings were born. Maybe it's a more. I mean, we know that from Shafar and Lola that all those were born in the Thought-Land, but the ones before, we don't know. Maybe he just chose to North Blue, or is it South Blue? I think it's North Blue though. So now we talk about Charlotte Cornstarch. She's the minister of the Love Island, and she does basically nothing. Yeah, you barely even notice her. I don't even remember when the scene took place. I think we see her once jump in, and I believe we see her on the Queen Mama Shanto, but that's pretty much it. She is pretty much non-existent, and I don't know why she's the minister of an island even. But yeah, this is Charlotte Cornstarch. And this is Charlotte Marsh. And she is now a minister, and she's someone of a swordswoman, and her design is not very likable. I don't even constantly have much of a design, but yeah, that's pretty much it from her. And now we get to the best one of these three, that's Charlotte Moscato. Now he has a bad design the other two, and he's the minister of Galad Island or Ice Cream Island or something like that. And yeah, he looks he looks great. And he is basically the one that has a more of a noble moment, because when Big Mom was on her rampage at the beginning of the arc, he is the one that jumps in and saves a child, and he's like, alright, calm down, I will go and try something. Now he goes and tries to calm her down, but because Big Mom is Big Mom and her death would scares you and takes your soul because of the soul Nomi, he's overwhelmed, and let's be honest with yourself, he's probably not one of the most powerful members. But he might be a bit stronger than the average, but not the most powerful members. So yeah, he tries to do something, but he gets killed, his soul gets thrown away. Now he almost does die, but they were able to recover some of his soul. I don't know how much, because he didn't seem to be that much age, although to be fair, we don't know how much of the age does affect them. But yeah, he is alive for now. I don't think he's on the island, but I would be kind of interested to see if he was right next to Wano. How maybe he's going to be like, are we sure that maybe getting her back would be... I mean, this might be the fact that I nearly died from her, but is it really the smart choice? So yeah. Now he also has the whole sword thing behind his back, which I don't know how he uses that to fight. I don't even know how that can be held. I mean, it's a fucking ice cream cone. That's a giant. I don't know how that can be wielded. So yeah. So the next one is Charlotte Noisati, who is the only child, and he has a weird weapon that's like in the shape of a tree, but it's also there's a sharp. I don't know if that's used in combat, because you think if he uses the brunt of it would be more of a hit than stabbing, but if you attack him from behind, I guess that's how he would use it. But I don't know if that really looks like how he holds it. His design isn't really much great. Now, some people thought that maybe he was going to be the older brother or younger brother of Noisati or twin or something, but no, he's the only child. So yeah, I do think he's a minister. I think he's the minister of the finance island, and he does seem to take the role of going through all the ones to vote on who's your favorite Charlotte sister, older, younger, your favorite Charlotte brother, older, younger. But yeah, that's pretty much it from him. The next one, Shadow Smarch, and his other two brothers are leading into the German invasion where he fights Ichiji, and I do believe he is the one that gets defeated the easiest and probably the weakest ones, if I'm being honest. Also, he's the minister of the Black Tea Island. Now, I do believe he's actually. Now, I do believe he does have some kind of weird technique because in the anime they gave him like he puts one sword extra in and he spins it and throws it. I do hope this is revealed in the review of the book. What the fuck is up with that technique? Because I am interested in that. Is it? Yeah. Maybe that Charlotte family book is going to be like the longest one, like a bunch of information, or at least confirming all the abilities of all the Charlotte family. Oh boy, that'll be a lot. But yeah. So yeah, he is definitely one of my least favorite out of the three. Now to my favorite out of the three, that's Shai Bascate. I just like the whole flame design with him, if I'm being honest. I am curious about what he is and what race he is because the other two look normal for the most part, but he has this weird thing where his mouth is like Katakuris and Pyoi's Stitch, which now that he covers it, that kind of does confirm it. Like maybe he covered it sooner than everyone, so he isn't exactly known. And he does seem to have some kind of ability that allows him to throw fire off his arms. I mean, some people thought it was flamethrower, but consider the fact he literally shoots fire from his mouth, like that. Seriously, in the anime they had like a scene when he was facing Junji and he had the upper hand in him, but then he just put the cover that's from his mouth and then he burst Junji. Granted, he was still defeated by Reiju and all, but consider the fact he was defeated by Reiju because she was on top of him. Not in that way. I mean, she was sitting on him. Oh, who am I kidding? That would be sexual anyway. I mean, you have rage for its sake. But yeah, he's definitely, I would say, the one that was doing the best against the Vinsmoke family of all of his brothers and all. So yeah, that's pretty much Charlotte Bascate. The next one is Charlotte Nostate. He's the first one to be born, and I believe he's the Minister of Transport. Because there's a funny scene in Takemon's video where he's like, I am Charlotte Nostate. I will make sure I will travel the most deepest of the oceans to give these supplies to that island or something. Yeah. We do see him focus on the meetings, and he is, I believe, was said to be the strongest one, but not really. I don't think he's stronger than Bascate, but he apparently is. Also, he has a weird hat that allows him to shoot needles and wind. Also, apparently, he might be a bit rusty when it comes to fighting because he did say in the anime at least that, it's been so long since I need to go at full strength. So that kind of does advise that maybe the Charlotte family is one of their prime when it comes to the fighting. I mean, most of the time they are ministers and they are powerful on their own, so who knows what's up with that. The next one is Charlotte Boyer, and we're finally ending down. Charlotte Boyer, she also has a very fine body and kind of like the same lines as Mercuriant. I don't know what she has with that queen or crown type of a thing. Like maybe at the end of the series she will be kind of take the role as the queen of Totland or something because again she has this weird queen like aesthetic from her, and she is also a swordswoman, and I do wish we get to see more of her. But I don't know exactly if we are going to get that. I think she's a minister of an eye, but I can't remember which one. The next one is Charlotte Brulé, and she ate the Mirror no Me. And the Mirror no Me she can use for any kind of abilities. She's basically the one that's being used the most. it does seem like in the arcs currently they have the thing where they have introduced a character who's less like a punching bag, but they have her just so useful, like Caesar, then Brule, and now Colorable, if you ask me. But yeah, she is an interesting cat. She is interesting because in the beginning she was kind of not really a good character, not one something someone would be. I can't wait to see her more, but yeah. But in the end, she does get more because of that whole